My name is Jade and her name is Dawn. On the 23rd of March 2010 she was born. She's got half a heart, yes you heard that right. You're looking at Supergirl fighting with all her might. So stick around and you will hear the amazing story about my girl right here.
And welcome back to Archie Adventures. If you are new here, my name is Jade-Marie and I'm the mother to almost 9-year-old Dawn-louise, who, if you did not know already, has a condition called hypoplastic left heart syndrome, which is a heart condition that she was born with, and it is a very severe one. Now, if you didn't know, February is Heart Month, and from the 7th to the 14th is also CHD Awareness Week. Now, because I haven't shared too much really in depth about her condition, I've decided to do videos every day for the entire month of February to help you better understand her condition and her life with it. Today's video we're going to be focusing on the 4 open heart surgeries that she's had in her life so far, and just a rough outline of how they work. I do want to remind people though that I am not a doctor, I am merely a heart mum, so I don't know very technical terms. I'm just going to keep it very basic so that hopefully you can understand it well. And I'll link below for you a much more descriptive animation video of the surgeries as well to better understand them if you wish. So unless there are other complications with the HLHS baby, it is pretty safe whilst inside the womb, as the heart does not work to provide oxygen to the baby's body. It's all done via the umbilical cord because they don't take their first breath until they're outside of the womb. So a HLHS baby is normally safe inside the womb. Within the first 1 to 2 days of life, the duct in the heart closes. When this happens, HLHS becomes fatal. Without surgical intervention, a HLHS baby will die after that duct closes. When the duct closes, it forces the heart to send blood to the lungs. With a baby with HLHS, this is not possible, hence why it is fatal. Sadly, out of all the CHDs, which stands for congenital heart defects, hypoplastic left heart syndrome is the most severe one. There are over 40 defects. The reason that HLHS is so fatal and so severe compared to other CHDs is that the left ventricle is the most important and strongest ventricle in the heart. Without it, there is nothing to pump to the body. There is another condition which is like my daughter's but the opposite, called HRHS, which stands for hypoplastic right heart syndrome. Because they already have the strongest side of their heart, although they do need to go through the same surgeries but backwards, their fatality rates are less, their life expectancies are higher, and they tend to have more energy to get around. Obviously, every heart baby is different. So in most cases, a HLHS baby will have 3 surgeries: the Norwood, the Glen, and the fontan. In Dawn-louise's case, she has actually had 4 open heart surgeries and 7 cardiac catheters. I'm going to get onto cardiac catheters in a different video. The Norwood needs to be performed within the first few days of life, because once that duct closes, their life is in danger. To stop that duct from closing prior to the Norwood, the baby is given a medicine called prostaglandin. In Dawn-louise's case, her Norwood was performed at just 6 days old. To stop the pressure from fluid build-up post-surgery, the chest is kept open. This means I could literally see my daughter's heart. This is when her heart was roughly the size of a walnut. She was a 7.15 pounds baby, so thankfully she was a good healthy weight for the surgery, but it still is a very, very severe and very, very risky procedure. If you can imagine the size of a walnut and then a male surgeon's hands, it is quite astonishing that they are even able to operate on something so small. The aim of the Norwood surgery is to improve the blood flow of both red and blue blood. Red blood is oxygenated blood and blue blood is deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood needs to go from the heart to the lungs to pick up oxygen to take it around the body. During the Norwood procedure, they will attach the base of the lung artery, which is called the pulmonary artery, to the body artery, which is called the aorta. During the Norwood, a small Gore-Tex tube made of soft plastic is inserted. This is called a BT shunt. This provides the blood a way to get to the lungs to pick up oxygen. A permanent passage between the 2 chambers is built to further help the blood move around. Sadly, during the Norwood, there is an extremely high risk of death, and it is very, very hard to put your baby through these surgeries. You are given papers and they literally say stroke, bleeding, brain damage, organ failure, and and death, and you have to, as a parent, sign that information to say that you're willing to take those risks, because if you don't, your baby is going to pass away. It is one of the hardest parts of having a child go through these surgeries, is that you are making a life and death decision with every step that you do. The next surgery is the Glenn procedure. This is ordinarily performed between 3 to 12 months of age. In Dawn-louise's case, it was performed at 3 months. Once the child grows, they require more oxygen. This surgery helps them to get that. The aim of this surgery is to redirect blue blood to the lungs, attaching the upper body vein, known as the superior vena cava, direct to the lungs, the pulmonary artery. The shunt from the first surgery is removed. Now, unfortunately, in Dawn-louise's case, her Glenn did fail, and it meant that I was actually told that she may only have 6 months to live. Thankfully, 3 months later, she was offered another surgery. It was called a left cavern pulmonary anastomosis. Sadly, I didn't vlog or have a blog or anything, so I don't really have the details on what exactly they did during that surgery. It is not a surgery that most fontan patients have, or HLHS patients have. All I can tell you is that they took a vein from her neck to put into her heart. She suffered a blood clot, which could have led to a stroke or a heart attack. It was very, very serious that we made it so that she could survive that. Dawn-louise did not come home till she was 6 months old because she needed to have these first 3 surgeries before she could. These surgeries also caused other issues. She ended up having a bowel surgery because they thought they made a hole in it during her heart surgery. Thankfully, after going through the surgery, they found no hole and she was perfectly fine. The last stage of planned surgeries for HLHS patients is called the fontan. In Dawn-louise's case, she had a fenestrated fontan. That means that during the fontan procedure, they also created a fenestration or a hole, and this keeps pressure low in the heart because post-fontan patients are at risk of liver and kidney failure. If Dawn-louise was to fall into liver and kidney failure, she would probably not be able to get a heart transplant. Thus, if she went into heart failure, she would probably not survive. I will get on to organ donation and why transplants aren't as easy as you think they are in a future video. If you want to ask questions for that video, comment them down below. Fontan is usually performed between 1 and 3 years, but what the doctors are now trying to do is only give it to them when they feel like they need it. In Dawn-louise's case, she had her fenestrated fontan at 4.5 years. That is because at around 4 years of age, we noticed some very big differences. She was struggling to move around. She didn't have the energy to play with her friends at school. She could not finish her dinners, and the food that she did manage to eat took her over an hour. This could be as much as a bowl of Cheerios. The hardest things about having a child with HLHS is that you will watch them deteriorate. You will watch them fail to thrive. And it is absolutely heartbreaking, but it is also important that we look at how far they've come. The aim of the fontan procedure is to completely stop mixing the blue and the red blood. It is very important that we remember that none of these surgeries create a normal heart function or a normal heart. They are still very, very different. Another aim of the fontan is to give the baby growth and energy to play. With the blue blood being pushed to the lungs without a pump, it does mean that pressure builds up. This pressure is what causes the liver and kidney failure. Thankfully, with the help of a fenestration, the doctors are better able to prevent that pressure from building up and putting their lives at risk in the future. We got very, very lucky with Dawn-louise's fontan. She was only in hospital for 11 days, which compared to the first 6 months for the first 2 surgeries she had was amazing. I'm going to insert some videos just so that you can see how resilient these children are. Only a week after surgery, she was up dancing with another hospital friend. There's something I want to show you. This little pink form here is my copy of the form that I had to sign when Dawn-louise had her fontan. On the back, you can see there's a diagram. Her doctor drew this, and this is what they did during her fontan. Now I'm going to read to you the list of risks that the doctor put down for Dawn-louise's fontan and her cardiac catheters. Unfortunately, they have the same risks. Bruising, bleeding, arrhythmias, stroke, and death. Every single time that my daughter has had an open heart surgery or a cardiac catheter, her life has been put in danger. But without doing that, she wouldn't make it either. We are in a constant battle every day just to keep her alive. Post-surgery, it's important to remember that the children with these conditions are not fixed, are not cured. There is no cure for hypoplastic left heart syndrome. There is no cure for most CHDs. The easiest CHD that you could get is a hole in the heart, which may close on its own, may need no surgical intervention, or may be closed with a cardiac catheter. However, a cardiac catheter does still pose really serious risks. So none of these are actually easy to go through, just some are slightly easier than others. Post-surgery, a child with HLHS will be put on a blood thinner. In Dawn-Louise's case, she was given aspirin. She's been on aspirin her whole life and will be on it for the rest of her life. She takes 75 milligrams daily, and this prevents her blood from clotting. Clots can cause strokes and heart attacks, so unfortunately Dawn-Louise is at risk of attacks and strokes. It's important to remember that a heart attack and a cardiac arrest are different things. Although a child with HLHS is at risk of cardiac arrest, it is not quite as risky as a heart attack. So I'm going to leave this video here for today, and tomorrow we will be back with another one. Again, if you have any questions, you can put them down below and we will add them. The last video of this series will be a Q&A. We already have about 30 questions, so it's already going to be quite lengthy, but a lot of them are quite short answers, so it will be quite easy to film and won't be too long for you to watch. I hope that you enjoyed learning about Dawn-Louise's surgeries today. Go check out the link below if you want to see a more in detail description of these surgeries. But I hope that this helps you get a little insight into what we've been through. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.